What would you think would be a more impressive cutting medium to test a giant sword with that type of
Concrete.
weight?
It is an enormous broadsword, single.
I'm okay with it, Shad. It's okay.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see what it does to this thing.
Brandon, what's...
I'm expecting right through. It's going to just mess it up.
Shadowversity.
Greetings, I'm Shad.
Greetings, I'm Tyranth.
And Tyranth, today we get to talk about one of my favourite subjects.
Our favourite subject.
Our favourite subjects.
Giant swords.
Giant swords are great.
Yeah, I saw these clips a little while ago. I haven't actually watched them, but I saw the thumbnail and stuff. The Unsubscribed podcast. They have done some giant sword stuff. And I'm assuming this is on their Paperback stuff, like their own platform and things. So I think we have a lot to talk about.
We do. And in case you don't know, we have tested giant swords ourselves. We tested foam ones to see how good they are in combat, pretending if you had super strength and they'll really light to you. Then we've tested out an aluminium kind of guts replica-ish that Tyranth made. Then we've designed our own giant swords. We've explored how you'd want to fight with them in terms of techniques. All that content is here on Shadowversity. So let's dive into it, see what the Unsubscribed guys think, because they have some pretty serious, swords, giant swords that they test out. So let's dive into it and have a look.
Mom texted me earlier. She's like, "What'd you guys do today?" I don't know how to explain this.
I think I got it.
So, all right, it is a serious BUSTER sword replica, this thing. We have used our own sword cutting rig before as well.
Not with giant swords.
Not with giant swords. Now, I see why, because this one looks like it's full weight as well.
Yeah. So this is the interesting, right? Is like we said, we've done a lot of stuff on it. There's no point in a lot of this type of giant sword because nobody can lift it, right? So it doesn't serve really a function. So when you want to try and create, you've gone the route of carbon fiber.
Yes.
Shad wants to go with more of a composite material, which, to be fair, on the what did we call the littler one? It's still a big sword. We just never named it.
Oh, yeah, we didn't name it, did we?
We didn't name it, but I would still consider that to be quite a large sword, big giant sword if you want to call it that. It was very light for its size.
One of the lightest swords I've ever used for their size.
Yeah, I went a different route and I went aluminum, and I think mine is bigger.
It is bigger.
And stronger.
But I could make a bigger one that is lighter out of carbon fiber.
I still reckon mine would cut yours in half.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We could test that.
Yeah, we could.
Fun. So the other kind of thing is...
The point that I was bringing up is that we haven't done any out of steel for this exact reason.
Yeah, and you just can't lift it, as they're kind of showing right here, that they need it on a rig. And the other thing to kind of caveat is if you had the super strength to lift this type of thing, would it be an effective weapon? And one of the things that we discovered in our guts sword testing, right? The full-blown, full-powered downward slash attack where you just go up and big attack down is one of the worst attacks you could do with this sword.
Yeah.
So you could easily, it's easier to deflect. There's far less ability to follow up and then do another attack after it. Yeah. But it's kind of the go-to attack that people think of when they think of giant swords, as the guys here are doing.
Yeah. I have more to say, but I'll say it a little bit later, just because we're only 11 seconds in.
Yeah, well, like I said, we've got a lot of commentary to share on the subject. And even in the preview, you would expect it to do that much damage. It's a heavy, sharp bar of steel. Watermelons aren't that impressive as a cutting medium.
No.
You could do that with, a long sword even.
Oh, well, you can do it with a knife, a kitchen knife. The watermelons aren't that hard to get through, but I think this is just more for visual appeal.
For fun, it does look
cool.
It looks
and it's fun to do as well.
What would you think would be a more impressive cutting medium to test a giant sword with that type
Concrete.
of weight? Bricks or something.
Yeah.
I would like to see him do that.
What do you guys do all day? I don't know. We drink and do this. Welcome to Unsubscribe.
Action!
Okay, they have a ballistic gel. Thought that's cool.
That's something that we haven't been able to test. So
just because it's so hard to get a hold of in Australia.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about one of the most iconic weapons in all of video game history, which is actually inspired by this, an ordinary kitchen knife. And what weapon are we talking about?
Yeah, you can barely lift that sucker.
Would you say that Cloud's Buster sword is one of the most iconic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For giant swords, I would say it's even... more people know of the Buster sword than they do of Guts Berserk.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think if you're in the realm of pop culture, you're probably familiar with the Dragon Slayer Guts sword.
Yeah.
But in terms of what people see pushed out there through cosplay, people making, I think more normies know of
Because
the Buster sword.
I don't even know if I consider the Buster sword to be a giant sword so much. Because it's big, but it's not that big.
I mean, in terms of height,
fat, yeah. Well, that's what I'm talking about. In terms of fatness and thickness, yes, it's pretty giant. But in terms of its actual height, that is not too far off
like
historical.
there are historical swords of that length.
Yeah, so this is what I mean.
Point.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
And I'm also not sure how tall he is. So, like, genuinely.
This giant kitchen knife is the Buster sword.
Giant kitchen knife. In terms of the average shape, possibly.
Now, what makes this weapon so...
Yeah, there's a good shot of its size.
Yeah.
Yeah, lengthwise, I have an old video exploring this, that if you wanted to make a functional giant sword, you just make him thinner and then they're perfectly in the realm.
Well, because, all right, so first off, I'm not actually sure how tall he is. He could be like 5'10" or something. So this wouldn't actually be that large. Second of all, I think it's actually smaller than
It's
that.
like 6 foot
Yeah,
five.
yes.
That's a completely different thing.
Well, I'm just trying to, but also on top of that, in the games and stuff, I think it's smaller than this as well. I think it's smaller than that.
Might be. That one looks pretty accurate. I have a feeling that that's actually made almost video game accurate in size.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Iconic is just the sheer size of this thing. It is an enormous broadsword, single...
I'm okay with it, Shad. It's okay. It's okay. It's a descriptor. And it's... Let's be generous here.
I'm trying to be. It's like I have years of
No.
conditioning to really get triggered by people misusing broadsword.
Yeah, but people... I'm okay with this one. Because when we get a sword that is literally broad, I will...
Yes, in a descriptive sense, this is a sword that is very broad.
Yes.
But people associate the term with a specific sword now. And there is a historical broadsword that you almost can't refer to, because if I was to go to someone and say, think of a broadsword, right?
They would not think
not think of what the historical broadsword was, so much so that we have to caveat and say the Scottish
yeah.
basket-hilted broadsword.
Yeah.
To the point where it doesn't even have the name broadsword anymore because
Exactly.
not enough people associate it.
Exactly, because there's lots of swords that are literally broad, so people call them the broadsword.
I have a few, like this sword here, I think would qualify as a broadsword. Though people usually, in terms of video games, think a broadsword is one that doesn't taper and just is kind of wide throughout. But in terms of having a broad blade,
It is, so it's a descriptor that I'm perfectly fine with you saying on a giant sword. This is, yeah, it's annoying, but yeah, I get it. Like I get
do
it.
you want to show off that one? Because that one also has a broad blade.
Yeah, much less so, especially compared to that one there. But it still is a broader blade.
Yes.
But a real historical broad sword is very different to both of these.
Yeah, exactly. So much so that to call, like the swords we just showed, would be more accurate to call them medieval broadswords to distinguish it different to the Scottish broadsword.
But then again, call them what you want. I don't care.
I like, consistent terminology.
So long as it's an accurate descriptor, whatever.
Sharp sword. It's a very sharpy sword.
Dangerously sharp, huh?
Yeah, dangerously sharp sword. If you know, you know.
Edged blade weighing in at a staggering 120 pounds.
It's about 60 kilos.
60 kilos-ish.
Yeah.
Not the worst. Certainly very hard
You
to
could
lift.
get that up and you could swing it down, but that's probably where you're going to stop.
Like
doing anything.
I've seen some of these like replica full steel, swords. I think someone actually made a Dragon Slayer as thick as it should be, and I was like over a ton.
Yeah, like it's super heavy.
And measuring in at 6 foot tall.
Oh,
Oh, okay. All right, point to Tyranth.
I didn't mean it as a dig.
He's not super short. He's 5 foot.
Compare it to some of the longest swords used in actual combat.
Well, he's correct there. Actual real swords did some of them.
Sorry, he's just got flip-flops on.
Yeah, that one is. Yeah.
It's so heavy. I've stumbled with.
Yeah, This is the type of sword, right, that good luck actually trying to swing that around in any functional way. You're not going to be able to. In reality, you could leverage it onto your shoulder and drop it on something. That's about it.
Yes. This is actually a perfect point to bring up what I was going to bring up before, and that is when it comes to these giant swords, especially fantasy swords, their biggest problem is not only when you try and translate them into the real world, what fighting techniques would you use for them to actually make them martially valid? And this is why I like historical giant swords, because something like Montante, right? We're going to use a lot of crowd control work. We're going to use maybe controlling choke points. Now, historical swords are not that heavy. They're like 2-3 kilos, and they're like however long they are, really big, which means that you can conserve your energy by moving them around a bunch, and it creates a huge threat zone essentially. Okay, so that's how you use a historical one. So when it comes to these fantasy ones, how the hell do you use it? Because most of the time they're too heavy.
Well, it depends on if you have the strength to even lift them up.
But even if you did have the strength, you wouldn't be able to use them in a historical way. So what are they used for?
I was literally thinking of that. Like, if you had the strength, one of the problems with swords like this is torque and angular momentum. Because it's so heavy, right? If it is like, this is a 60-kilogram sword, if you swing that around, that's just, if you do not have something to anchor yourself, you're just going to throw yourself off balance with it.
Well, this is the thing, is like, even if you're able to swing it around somewhat, practically, you're still not going to be faster than someone with a spear or a halberd or even just a historical larger sword. So it comes back to the point, it's like, well, what's the point of it? And this is why you tried to make yours out of carbon fiber, so it actually can be used faster and martially valid. And that's why I made mine out of aluminum, so it can be more faster and martially valid.
The point, the point of it, what would justify a sword like this, is if your target needed just the most insane force momentum to break through its hide or something like that.
But the problem is you can't, how do you defend with it? Because it's so slow that you maybe can get off one attack, but how do you defend with it?
It depends, because if you had the super strength to just compensate and then push it into the speed that you need to be in a functional range, you could pull it off. But again, that's all superhuman kind of stuff.
But again, would you need, even if you had super strength, would you need one so absurdly large? Because you get to this point where it's like, okay, if we're just going to say super strength, then nothing means anything. Like, it literally is just anything can be anything.
Yeah, as part of fantasy, you would need a couple of things with the super strength. Well, something to anchor yourself. You would want a lower point of balance. So I reckon you would almost need like a 20-kilogram pummel on this thing right there. And that means that, like, the point of balance would be throwing. If you could center it yourself, and you'd be, a lot of the movements would be keeping that point of balance of the sword close above your center of gravity. Well, and so you'll be keeping it tight.
There's also a discussion to be had here, because we get this just for regular swords, not even superhuman stuff, is, when a sword weighs like 4 kilos and we're like, this is a terrible sword. Not because we can't swing it, it's just terrible. Because I don't need it to be. And it's the same sort of argument with this. It's like, you can have a large giant sword that's well balanced that would be far more practical than one that's just completely unbalanced.
Yeah, well, again, no pummel on this, no counterweight, it's all top heavy.
Yeah,
it's
just because you can lift something doesn't make it good. See, we get really off the weeds with this stuff.
We've tested all of it.
It's also a passionate subject.
It is. We love it.
This one's good.
I've stumbled with it. I can drag it. I'll drag it across camera.
And the reason why it's actually, this guy I'm pretty sure would be able to lift 60 kilograms. Like, I can lift 60 kilograms, right? It's the torque and the point of balance is, and the handle is so far away from, if he could get in the middle of it, he would be able to lift it easier.
I'm not sure what the exact numbers or math is, but at the lever point where the handle is, it's probably going to be close to like double what the actual weight of the blade is. So just say it's 60, at that lever point trying to hold it, on this hand here, you're looking at like 120 kilos, so like 240, whatever that is in pounds.
We're going to go to the other weapons now. This is a regular katana.
Yes.
Measuring in...
I will give him that. Because we're so snobby here, I'll even qualify. This is a regular katana.
That's fine.
It looks regular enough.
34 to 42 inches and weighing about 2 pounds. This is the Adachi, one of the longest swords in Japanese history. Measuring in at 69 inches and weighing an average of 5 pounds.
I haven't been able to use one of those yet. I've seen videos of people testing them out, and the things that people have found in trying to use them is that they're hard. They're hard to get edge alignment. But then I've seen some people do some of the most crazy cuts with those swords. Like, we're talking about like 10 tatami mats.
Right, yeah, because you have a whole bunch more leverage on it. Because I mean, we've got our one, which is the handle is not the right length.
See, that one is an odachi. Odachi.
But what I'm saying is,
a nodachi.
the blade length on it is fine. It's just the handle on it is way too.
Am I getting confused between a nodachi and nagimaki? Dang it! Okay, I've failed. All right. Japanese sword terminology can be weird.
Eerily similar to Sephiroth's blade. It's 1 inch taller than.
I've made a wooden replica of Sephiroth's blade. There's certain similarities, but Sephiroth's blade is way longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easy to say this is one big ass sword, but the real question is,
Fair.
how would it handle in real combat? But before we do that, we're gonna deep dive in.
You better answer that question.
Yeah, we've explored this. So,
the problem is that I don't think any of them, and not in a mean way or anything like that, I don't think they have any
swordsmanship experience.
Yeah, so that I don't think they even could answer that.
Yeah, but I mean, they're gun guys.
They're gun guys,
and so it's like when we try and talk about guns, we're kind of
exactly.
We're good.
Setting up the rig.
Why do we see?
But the thing about the rig, this isn't showing how it should be used in combat. This is just kind of showing what damage it can do. And as Tyranth and I found out in our Buster Sword video, it's like one of the worst attacks you'd do with one of these weapons. They're like just a horizontal, very easy to dodge, get out of range, easier to deflect aside. Even with a small sword, if you just knock it aside a little bit, you knock it out of your threat range. And then the follow-up. Once that sword is down, you like to try and wrench it up is an awful position. And if you just dodge, the guy's dead open.
Yeah, specifically straight down chops.
Yeah. But horizontal ones where you can keep going.
A bit more historical and technical. That's why we were bringing up, that's why we tried to make ours light, so then they can be not only still fantasy, but can be used more martially valid.
Yeah.
And then you can answer, do they actually work in combat?
Go up there and get the tall.
I don't know. Oh my god. Hey, we did it first, huh? You probably put 12 feet in the air.
Turn on over Mythbusters, right?
Buster.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see what it does to this thing.
Brandon, what's
I'm expecting right through. It's going to just mess it up.
Yeah. So we've got some armor.
Larp, thin, garbage, tier armor.
Yeah.
That you can tell just like by the sheen and how easy they're holding it. It's like you can tell.
Yeah.
This is 0.5 mil to 1 mil thick at most.
Yeah.
Stainless steel, you reckon?
Maybe.
Well, no, it's
very shiny.
Yeah.
No, it's making a joke, but it's got a little.
It's a little greasy.
It's got a little slick and slide.
You can even hear like when it gets ting, like it has this kind of like echo tin kind of that indicates how thin it is.
Yeah.
I like being
Nope. I've rolled the dice enough in my life.
What do you guys do all day? I don't know. We drink and do this.
So- For example, we have some armor here. Now, when this moves, that does not make a tin sound.
You can hear it. That's like solid.
Yeah, this is solid. This weighs probably like 3 kilos, maybe 4 kilos.
And
just the breastplate.
What, 2 mil?
Yeah. We still haven't gotten around to testing it because we tested the other one. But this stuff here isn't even heat treated, and this is beastly.
It's actually shocking how tough that is in terms of penetrate. We've thrown arrows, spears, everything. And the only thing that was able to punch through was the Vector Corbin, and that was barely anything.
Barely able to get through it. Yeah.
And it's not hardened. That's the shocking thing.
Yeah. With blunt force, though, we were able to
bend it and stuff. Yeah.
Destroy it. Yeah.
No, unsubscribe.
Yeah, slot me. Slot me, daddy. Roman Empire here. We killed Jesus. What's up, dog?
No, Gibson killed Jesus?
Yeah.
Mel Gibson. Finn, right now we are trying
That's
to
also thin.
lower this slowly through a winch system, measure where it's going to hit. Right?
Yeah, I'll pick it up a little bit. There you go.
So right about here at the front, it's going to
Sorry, reminds me of our rig where I'm so cautious whenever I'm underneath that.
Yeah.
Through the shoulder, in through the body.
What do you want to have?
And I want to get our stuff on Pepperbox because if they're making this awesome stuff, it's like, guys, you have an audience for swords, and we do swords content.
I kind of want to see that. I don't know. It's either way. It's gonna be cool if it hits the helmet, but even if it deflects, not the end of the world. Still gnarly.
Oh, they hit it
It
that
doesn't
helmet.
look like it's going to deflect very much at all.
Like, I'm still happy about it. You know, it's still fun. It's all still great. It's like, it is LARP. And I don't have a problem with LARP at all, right? But when we're trying to extrapolate from tests, it's just a little bit different. Like, even a Gambison, you know, would be more, I'd be interested to see that.
Honestly, yeah, I would. Like, it needs to be a proper made Gambison. But LARP metal stuff, yeah, it doesn't give you really any valid indication.
And the problem is the inconsistency of LARP.
Except for one thing, if it doesn't get through the LARP, it's not going to get through anything thicker. That's what feedback you could get from it.
Yeah.
Oh no, it cut his skull.
Oh, you did cut the out of him.
That thing's sharp. Oh, this is a warrior.
Oh, man.
But you got to remember, like, the biggest problem with the giant sword, right? And this comes back, it all comes back down to weight, right? Is to cut with a sword, you need to be moving at a certain like speed. Because you're just using gravity, it means that it's not going to be cutting and slicing as such. It's more just blunt force damage of like a chisel, right? And the weight is doing the heavy lifting with it.
Still do damage.
It still do damage, but it's a different type of damage. And this is why it's interesting, because if he had chainmail on, a Gambison on, and this LARP armor on, I don't think it would get through. It would squish it, but it wouldn't actually get through anything.
I agree.
So the speed and power is so important.
Then it works out.
Oh, this is a warrior. Oh,
So
Okay, no, they shot.
missed.
No, it deflected off the helmet, which means it didn't get through the helmet. But the guy's neck is broken.
I don't think so. I don't think it deflected. I think it moved the head out of the way, which moved the body out of the way.
Yeah. But
Which, I mean, could you consider that arm angling?
yeah, I would. The guy's neck is broken.
Yeah.
Like, look at this. It's just,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then off the arm.
I don't know if I'd consider that actually. Because it's moving his body out of the way, not...
But the armor is technically doing what it's supposed to do in this situation, stopping it from getting through.
Took the side of his head off. Straight up sheared the side of his head off.
look at this. We cracked his. I think he's dead.
Yeah. So the rest of the content is, of course, on Paperbox itself. If you guys are interested, you can check them out on Paperbox. But even what they were able to show in this kind of sneak peek, we had a lot to say on.
Yeah. So is it functionally valid in combat, that one? No,
it's not. The armor sucked.
It's LARP armor, man. Yeah, it is.
But even then, it stopped the thing. And so, as a blunt force object, though, it would still kill someone.
What I don't understand is why they can't get a hold of, like, quality stuff. Like, we get countless emails from different companies and people who make legit stuff, who want to send it all the time, and they're way bigger than us. So, like, I'm sure that with one email, they could get all the equipment they ever need about this stuff.
Yeah. It seems like they just look on Amazon or just the LARP places. It's like, armor is armor. We'll get the armor.
Yeah, at least with like Kentucky, like on his last video, he started getting some more legit stuff.
Kind of in response to our reaction.
Oh, was it?
Well, he said, some of you guys, get feedback that the weapons weren't that great, and then he got better weapons. Yeah. And he did comment, I missed the comment, but he commented underneath our video saying thanks for the feedback.
Yeah.
And so... I think our own encouragement now. Love the unsubscribe, guys. I think it's a fun video. Giant swords are fun. We are massive nerds when it comes to that, so we have...
Specifically on this subject. This subject we can... we love this one.
And check out those videos. Testing out a real BUSTER sword there, and then any number of extra ones, guys. Hope to see you there. Thanks for watching this video. Until